Hello and welcome to Book Buzz Book Talk edition.
That's right.
Brought to you by the Peters Township Public Library. So for this episode, we're going to share with you some featured authors as well as some featured books and book titles that you can add to your to-read list.
Absolutely. And this month, because it's St. Patrick's Month, we decided to go green.
Yes.
We are going green. So any of the titles that we've picked were based on the color green.
Yes.
So you're going to see a lot of different interesting things, not necessarily new or whatever. But before we get to that, we're going to have a featured author this time. And this is somebody that I know we both love for sure. Oh my gosh. So it's James, we're doing James Dean, his wife Kimberly.
Not the actor James Dean.
I know, I wanted to say that. Every time, so there's on there, you can see James on the left, Kimberly in the middle, and then Eric Litwin on the end. And they are the famous illustrators and authors of Pete the Cat books. And yeah, there's so much to learn, but that every time I hear or see when I'm pulling a book, I see the James Dean.
Yeah.
I think of, the old actor, which is hilarious, but doesn't
I'm sure
even
he gets
look
that a lot too.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, there's so much to learn about him. He's really cool in like what happened, because he started out with Eric Litwin.
Yeah. I think Litwin actually was the one who wrote the books for a while.
Yep. Pete the Cat, fictional cartoon cat created by James Dean. Series started with 4 books, illustrated by Dean and text by Eric Litwin.
Yeah.
And you can see the 3 books up there that I grabbed today. My favorite is I Love My White Shoes.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the first one.
Yeah, that's just my favorite. And we go through the books so fast, try to find a Pete the Cat book that you want, like if you're looking for specific. I had to get it from another library.
I actually have my own copy of White Shoes that I keep on. Yeah, because I use it every year for story time because it's so perfect for colors and all of that.
Yes. Oh, it'll be good this summer too for all those colors. But anyway, yes, the first book was Pete the Cat. I Love My White Shoes. Then after Eric Litwin, they started together, but then as happens, as they started writing more and more things, James Dean wanted to do some other stuff, maybe take it in a little bit of a different direction, had that creative differences, which happens.
Yeah.
And so
it's like the Beatles.
Yeah, right, creative differences. Oh yeah, sad when it breaks it up. And they split, and then he began to write with Kimberly, his wife, they personally have done over 60 books together.
Wow, there's a lot. I mean, because you think when you pull them too, they're the first ones were picture books, but there's also the I Can Reads, and we have board books. There is a TV show on, is it Netflix? It should say on your notes. Oh. I want to say Netflix says the Pete the Cat show. Somebody does.
Yeah, it might be in here. I thought that this statistic was interesting. The first book, I Love My White Shoes, was self-published.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in 2008, sold 7,000 copies in 10 months before it was picked up by HarperCollins.
And they're like, we missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, and the rest on that one is history. That's just crazy. This is a cute one. Pete the Cat screams for ice cream. There was something about that particular book that they wrote about. I'm going to have to find it. But I found it interesting that James Dean lives in Athens. He said, Athens has been a huge influence on me. When I moved to Athens in 1982, he had just graduated in electrical engineering.
Oh, wow.
Boy, talk about
different shift in career.
Yeah. And he was working with Georgia Power, and then they were, building in the height of their popularity, whatever. Athens was in the spotlight and seemed to be full of possibilities and just a cool place to be.
Wow.
So he just packed up and moved. He secretly wanted to study art in college. So I think that happens, doesn't it? Like you start off in one career, but deep in your head, you've always wanted to write or draw or whatever, and it's a matter of whether you pursue it or not. So from engineering school, I love this because it's so real when you go to college. He struggled. He said, I struggled through engineering school and somehow managed to graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. He said, I didn't think that I wanted to be a cat artist. How about that? Eventually, I made a simple painting of Pete, which turned into a series, and within a year, I realized that I should totally focus on Pete.
Yeah, Pete's got him some money.
Oh, yeah. And he made the first painting of Pete in the summer of 1999. He bought a tent and started doing art festivals.
Yeah.
And that's how he started selling, like, his paintings anyway. They talk about this one, about Pete the Cat Screams for Ice Cream, which we have, deals with the subject of anxiety. And they asked him, are your books intended to benefit adults as well as children? And I like when, like, authors or mostly authors, I think, with books where sometimes, or you'll go to a movie and the theme or the thought will go right over the kid's head, and the adults are getting it and loving it, but the kids are still loving it because they're getting their piece in it. He says the first book that he did with Eric Litwin, of course, I Love My White Shoes, has a message about keeping a positive attitude that adults,
it's all good.
Yep, that adults can appreciate as much as the children. So he said he actually wrote Pete as an adult book.
Oh.
Yeah, he said Pete is still for adults and has helped the children's book be successful, but they have a message that is powerful for the adults as well as the children. And now, let's see, there are almost 100 published Pete the Cat titles, with more coming out all of the time. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I didn't realize there was 100 of them. I mean, there is a bunch, I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like we said, there's so many different, like there's board books and there's holiday ones.
Yeah,
and then there's
now the early readers.
The early readers, and different levels in the early readers too.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I like this. I'm gonna end it with this, I think. I'm gonna end it with this of saying that James is humbled every day by the success that this groovy, I love saying that word, like I'll say with the kids, I'll be like, groovy, blue cat has brought him. He says, positively affecting children's lives is his #1 priority, and he is grateful to have such an amazing audience to work for.
That's awesome.
Isn't that
I mean,
perfect?
he is great. I mean, we have a stuffed Pete at home because, even he was one of the Coles ones. So, I feel like you
with
made
the
it if you're
books.
going to make your book into a published,
but
into a plush at Coles.
Totally, totally our favorite. And
Yeah.
look at, I mean,
Yep,
they're
you can
just
tell
so
that one's
funny.
loved too. It's all taped up.
Yeah.
And we have this. We just read that one at home too. The Leprechaun one.
The Leprechaun, perfect for this month.
Yeah, right.
Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of
Strawberries.
What color did it turn his shoes?
That's funny.
Green. No.
I have like a retelling of that story too,
Do
so that
you?
the kids can like put it back in order and stuff.
Yeah, I love it. That's good. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. And that
Very
is James Dean, James and Kimberly Dean.
I love them.
Yep.
Good time. Good choice.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
That was my author feature. So
Alright.
you start with the green books.
Sure. So we were looking at like books that I was focusing on books that are that the cover was green in some way, because there's like an ongoing joke where like a patron will come into the library, and this does really happen. Like you'll see, we've seen like, internet jokes and stuff about it, but it actually is a true thing where somebody will come in like, I really want to read this book. I read it as a kid, or I just finished it. Well, what was it called? I don't know, but it was blue.
And it had a dog on it.
It had a dog on it. And so that's like our librarian, like
inside joke kind of.
And also like our like we're kind of like little miniature detectives trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and we do. And when we do,
it's really cool. So that's what we're going
Okay.
with. So that's kind of like our joke to ourselves. Is we don't know what it's called, but it's green. So this one is. So not only is it green, but this is also one of my favorite titles of a book of all time.
Oh.
It's called Kale, My Ex, and Other Things to Toss in a Blender.
I love that title.
I do too. And the artwork.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, look at like she's got her smoothie or whatever.
Green smoothie.
Yeah. So Kale, My Ex, and Other Things to Toss into the blender. Recipe for disaster: 1 ex-boyfriend, 1 nasty rumor, and 1 long summer trying to get over it. For Mia, the summer before her senior year could be an epic fail. Her first ever boyfriend dumps her days before vacation for all the wrong reasons, and she and her best friend Justine are stuck driving a lame snow cone truck as a summer job. But what are best friends for if not for saving you from yourself? Recipe for revenge. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but it's been on my list for years
Really?
because the title cracks me.
Oh, it cracks me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a fun one to read.
And each one has like a smoothie recipe at the beginning of each chapter. So it's like cashew New York, cashew butter, coconut milk, strawberries, pineapple.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Find your power: protein powder, peaches, kale, banana, peanut butter.
Oh.
So there you go. So you can make some fun smoothies. So it's like a It's like a healthy book.
It's so healthy.
Yeah.
You make your little shake and drink while you read.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of makes you want to make one.
Yeah.
Looks really cute.
Very cool.
Yes. That's one of my favorite titles.
Okay. Well, the first one I pulled, we all love Melissa de la Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
And she did the Descendants series, which is extremely popular.
Right, because of the Disney movies.
Yep. And this green book, the end of the story, is the last book in the Chronicles of Never After.
Ooh.
Yeah, the last one. My guest pulls it all together. The Never After crew is back for a final epic adventure with Queen Olga drawing ever nearer.
Queen Olga.
Yep, and Philomena and her friends race to find the last surviving fairy, Sabine, and protect her at all costs. For if Sabine dies, so does all of Never After. Oh, without a moment to lose, Philomena, Jack, Alistair, Gretel, and the rest of the gang, along with some new pals like Captain Hook, set off for Pan's Neverland to find Sabine. And
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, they're just kind of like
those
fun,
fairy tale twists and stuff.
Right, fun little adventure stories. The Never After, and so the Descendants, again, that was really, like I said, popular. This is brand new. You'll find it on our new books shelves, and
yeah,
green.
She's the one that's another like well-rounded author because she also writes for YA, and she wrote the Alex and Eliza series. So that's historical fiction.
Right.
This is obviously high fantasy.
Right. Yeah.
And Descendants is also the Descendants is like a Disney twist, of course, with the villains.
Yeah.
So this one is a graphic novel, and again, this is another like twist on something. So this is a twist on the classic Little Women. It's called Jo, an adaptation of Little Women, sort of. So it takes place in modern day, and it's still very similar to your Little Women story. However, with a modern day twist, and also with a graphic novel twist. So we always talk about how so many of the classics have been adapted in different ways and turned into graphic novels. And what a fun way to read a classic than reading the graphic novel. Kind of reminds me of like how the Babysitters Club series got adapted into graphic novels. That's what, maybe it's the artwork. Like it kind of has that kind of artwork, or even like Raina Telgemer's artwork kind of style.
Yeah.
So this is by Kathleen Grews.
Yeah,
and
that does
it is
look
about
like hers.
Jo
Yeah.
from Little Women.
Little Women. All right.
Which I've never read Little Women.
No? Never had to or anything?
No.
No. Well, it's all right.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Like there's not enough books out there for you to catch up on.
All
right.
Good choice.
My next one, The Magician's Nephew from the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. And when I saw this, and of course it being green, I was looking forward to bringing it because, the kids love the Narnia series. And it is always assumed that the first book that they read is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Right.
Which, you know, everybody thinks that that's the first book, and then all of the other ones come after, you know.
Right.
But actually the first book is The Magician's Nephew, which is this.
Well,
which was
sort of.
Which was written, I mean, it wasn't written before.
Right.
It was written after, but this is one of those in the series where they're going to take you back to the beginning.
Yes. Right.
Like Star Wars did that,
Yeah.
you know, or different.
Right.
Different.
But if you find older publications of the Narnia, sometimes they do have it as the last book and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as the first one. Personally, as someone who's read the whole series, I think this one sets the stage better if you read it first.
It does.
Because it sets up Narnia.
Yeah, and that was the purpose of it. There's something, it's about something that happened long ago when your grandfather was a child. It is a very important story because it shows all of the comings and goings between our own world and the land of Narnia when it first began. So, yeah, it's going to take you all the way back. And you know what? I kind of like when they do that.
Yeah.
You know, you've read this book, and then all of a sudden they're going to go, let's go back and see how it all began.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't think about it like it not being the first one. You think, like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but you would assume, like, oh, there was something before, you know, and
Wicked, in a sense, kind of did that too.
Oh, that's a great example. Yeah, a great example. So, The Magician's Nephew, if you're going to read The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and that whole C.S. Lewis series, Narnia series, go ahead and start with The Magician's Nephew.
I love that book, that series. Let's see. So this one, I don't have too much information about it because it doesn't have any, like a book jacket. But talking about fantasy, so this is a green fantasy book. That was why I pulled it. The Mark of the Dragonfly. And this is like an interest, like this dragonfly obviously is like a brooch of some kind. It's not a real dragonfly.
Oh.
And it is like a dystopian fantasy novel. You can tell that from the cover art that they're in some kind of faraway land that I'm going to say is dystopian. So one is smart, one is brave, and one is hiding a secret that could cost them their lives. And I believe this is the first in a series by Lee Johnson. So I don't know what anything about it, but the cover is green. And it had a dragonfly on it.
There you go.
That's the question.
Don't you think, like, you know how we have at the library, we have book challenges, reading challenges, like the A to Z challenge, etc. I mean, wouldn't it be cute if you just made your own challenge? Like, okay, for the month of March, I'm going to read books that have green cover, or like we're pulling out.
Yeah.
I mean, then it like. Not forces, kind of forces you to like open up your mind and look for different things.
Yeah.
You know, things that you might not have read. Okay, so I just did a couple of chapter books, so I wanted to give equal time to a picture book. And who doesn't love a sloth?
You and your sloth.
I know. I don't know why. I just love them. Maybe because I wish I could just slow down.
They are cute things too.
Yeah, Sloth to the Rescue by Leanne Shirtlife. And who, like I said, who doesn't love a sloth? Look at it up there. This is so cute.
I remember when that one book came out.
Yeah. The first day of school can be scary, even for a sloth. When Patty forgets her class report at the Rainforest Rescue Center, it is up to Sloth and his other faster rainforest friends to return it to her. So it tells the story of them getting her class report to Patty.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, Sloth is probably still trying to get there. Yeah.
Well, the snake and instead of warthog, maybe they got there quicker.
Yeah. So, green book, Sloth to the rescue. All right, what you got?
Can't go wrong with this one. I talked about this before. The Inheritance Games, book one in the Inheritance Games series. You know, this one is from a girl. She ends up coming into all this money from a guy she has no idea who he is, and the other heirs to the estate are not too happy that she's getting all of this, this whole estate. So why did she get it? What's going on? And they're kind of all, a lot of money makes people get kind of crazy.
Yeah.
When money's on the line. So so a lot of fighting and things going on. So it's a murder mystery in a sense as well. So the inheritance games. She came from nothing. They have everything. Let the games begin.
Yeah.
So, and he's very, very wealthy, and so that this whole situation is being televised and everything else. Like, who is this person? Why is she going to get all of Tobias Hawthorne's money? So, how does she know him? What's the connection?
Yeah.
This is the first in a four book series. So, a lot of fun, fast page turning.
Yeah.
It's very,
I like that.
Can't go wrong. That's a green one that it's been very, very well received.
Yeah, I was going to do a St. Patrick's Day one.
Okay.
I'll do it quickly, but happy St. Patrick's Day, Tiny.
Oh, I like Tiny. He's not tiny. He's a big dog.
The dog. Tiny and Elliot are going to a St. Patrick's Day party in the park with a parade, a costume contest, and a scavenger hunt. But when they notice that a new friend has lost her shoe, Tiny knows it's up to him to save the day. Can he find the shoe and the pot of gold in time? So, you know what? We have our St. Patrick's Day books out. There's several of them and a good selection. So
Yeah,
here's
find a
this
good one.
cute little one. Short and sweet. You could read it with your kids just to make it holiday-ish. But guess what? It's green.
It is. Well, a St. Patrick's Day book.
It might be.
It might be green.
Yeah, it might be.
So I had kale. Now we're going to do guava.
Oh, funny.
So I don't really know if I know what a guava looks like. I mean, I've had guava flavored things.
Yeah.
It's a fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
I
job.
mean, if I was walking through Giant Eagle and somebody said, go buy me a guava, I might be having a hard time finding one.
That's okay.
So, but anyways, Anna Maria wants to be a pastry chef, and she loves developing new and exciting Cuban fusion treats in her family's bakery. But her dad refuses to change the menu created by her abuelo decades ago. Meanwhile, the rivalry bakery across the street, Morales Bakery, is thriving with their Instagram famous desserts. And from the cover, it looks, I'm guessing, we got a boy meets girl situation going on here.
I see that.
And I noticed this is a relatively newer book as well. And there was, I always say how there's like trends in books, for instance, the inheritance games. We had a lot, like the market was being flooded for a while with teen murder mystery. I found there has been a huge increase on teen books that involve cooking challenges, rivals between like this one's a rivalry between the bakeries. I've seen, this is not the first one of these I've seen. And I've read or listened to several.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there is an increase on food related things. I don't know if that's because a lot of the cooking shows are really, cooking shows have been around forever. I mean, Julia Child was however long ago. But like, it's really taking off
the
as popularity for a younger audience with like the Is It Cake Buns and the Greatest British Baking Show and all that stuff, like has a younger following. I don't know what it is, but I will say as a librarian who orders books for teens, I'm finding a lot that have to do with food.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting.
So Guava and Grudges by Alexis Costello.
Let me see in the hand. Oh no, he's a camera.
See, it's somewhat, and it looks like so that's the pastries,
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, another. You know what? Just in case we would run out of time, I'm going to do this one first. It's a Kit the Wizard book. It's called Monster in the Lake. And the reason why I want to do this first, this is actually book number 2 so far in the series, and brand new to our library, to our paperback collection.
Oh.
Kit, yeah, isn't
Is
it
this
cool?
the Monster in the Library? Is that one of them? Is that the first one?
Okay,
continue on.
I don't know.
It's
I
green.
don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Kit Spencer, maybe the youngest wizard ever, but she sure doesn't feel like the best wizard. Her magic keeps going wrong, and other weird stuff is happening. Talking animals, exploding fireballs, and a very strange new arrival in the local park. Kit and her two best friends, Alita and Josh, set off with Faith, the librarian, to investigate the wild magic that's causing so much commotion. Their journey takes them to Scotland, where they meet a loch full of cranky mermaids. But the danger is greater than they imagined. I know, watch those mermaids. Will they be able to set things right before the wild magic spreads further? So this is brand new to our paperbacks. I believe there are only 3 so far.
And is one of them about a library?
I think so. I think you're right.
Especially since the librarian helps them. So I feel like maybe the first one has to do with the library.
Yeah, it could be.
Like the wizard in the library or monster in the library. I can picture the cover because the way the kids look.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them in a library. But I could be wrong. Making it up.
Yeah. You can
this is why we have these, maybe it's green. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have time for one more?
Yep. Yeah, we have a little less than a minute.
Okay.
You don't have one?
No.
Okay, I'll do this one because it'll be really quick. Because
can't go wrong with this one.
Can't go wrong with a magic tree house.
Love it.
Yep. This one's called, let's see, Camp Time in California.
Ooh.
And everybody loves Magic Tree House. They're fun. They're easy to read. You've got Annie and Jack and all the places that they visit, the things that you learn.
I've learned so much from reading those books.
Absolutely. They are great, easy, popular books. And they are heading to California, and they're looking at nature, and they have to save the wilderness. Boy, is that timely.
Oh.
Going to California and saving the wilderness.
Right. Yeah.
Because of all the,
all the fires.
Yeah, sadly. So, with that in mind, a green Mary Pope Osborne Magic Tree House.
And all of her books are a little bit on the green side.
Yeah, that's true. This felt greener. More green.
Well, because the artwork, the tree house part.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So that was us going green for March.
Yep.
Next month, who knows?
And then they're going to come in, they're going to say, you talked about a book on Book Buzz. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember it was green.
The color, it was green. We'll be like,
ooh, well, what did we say?
Let me think about it and get back to you. So next month, I don't know. Could be go pink or purple or polka. Oh, we could make it really tough.
I don't know how easy I can find polka dotted books, but we can do something.
All right, next time, see you for April.
April
Books.